It's called Barbie, the wokest movie of the year. And it's by a woman called Amala, who is like a right-wing kind of, yeah, one of these right-wing people.
Hi guys, it's Amala coming at you from a tree stump in the city of London, and I've decided to film this video because I just wanted to watch the Barbie movie, and it is probably the wokest film of...
Also, like, I've decided to watch this today. I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. But I want to actually go and watch this film. So I'm hoping there's not a lot of spoilers in this. I kind of flicked through. There's not scenes from the film or nothing. It looks like there's quite a lot of scenes of, like, trailers and stuff like that. So I hope there's not too many spoilers. I mean, I'm not that excited that I'll be that upset. But, yeah. The comments are delayed, I'm being told. Yeah, I think because I'm seeing the comments, I've got a little side screen with the whole software that I stream from set up, and the comments get filtered through. So it might be a thing where it takes a little while for them to filter through to there. Or have they just started being delayed, or was they delayed the whole time? Let me know, let me know.
2023, let's talk about it. Guys, before we get into this video, please like and subscribe. I want as many people to find this channel as possible so you know what to do. Now, yes, I had to come to you from this park just to talk about the Barbie movie, which I just took time to see. I sat through it in its entirety, and I think it is the wokest film of 2023. Now,
Sounds
before
amazing.
we get into plot summary on this film, I want you guys to remember the original message of Barbie, that young girls and women can do anything that they want.
Hey, girls can do anything like Barbie.
Moral of the story is Steve is a nutter. I think that might even be the moral of the Barbie film story as well.
Barbie has thousands of different careers. She shows up in the world in 100 different ways, and she's encouraging young girls to keep that mindset, and always has encouraged that mindset within young women. By all reasonable markers, we would call the original Barbie a feminist, at least a first or second wave feminist. But there's been much debate about this film in particular. Amy Schumer said that the original take of this film was not going to be feminist enough. There's been much back and forth on this film.
I actually, when I got asked the other day, like, is Barbie a feminist? I was like, well, she's actually like the level up from that, because if you look at Barbie Land at the beginning, like, the Barbies are on top and the Kens are kind of disregarded. So I was like, well, that's not equal.
No, right.
So
right.
whatever the opposite of misogynist is, actually Barbie's like. So towards the end, when they balance things out, then.
Oh shit! Oh shit! So they're saying she is a male. She is a extreme feminist or a woman supremacist.
It might be feminist.
Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach have written this version of Barbie that's now in theaters.
I think in a lot of other hands, a Barbie movie would remain surface level. But I knew Greta was going to have a lot to say, and I knew she was going to kind of Trojan horse a lot of big issues within a very fun world.
Now let's talk about the plot. Spoiler alert. We start off in Barbie Land.
Oh, I don't know if we can do this, man. I can't. They're throwing a big spoiler alert in there. What are you saying in the comments? Should I continue and give us all the spoilers? I know Tara don't care. 1 second. Give me a second anyway, because there's something bouncing in the corner I want to sort out. I might skip past the plot part and get to the next bit. Oh, crying out loud. This software is really playing with me today. Now, do you know what? I'm going to actually literally do that. I want to skip past the spoiler alert part. I can kind of see it in here. I probably won't be able to skip past it all. But I'm seeing the scene of, what's his name? Steve, whatever, from The Office. Alright, we're trying to pick it up there.
Costuming was also really fun and vivid and brilliant, and you felt like when you were in Barbie Land that you were actually there, like it was truly a world of its own. I myself was not too entertained with the jokes or the comedic factor of this film, but I will say the entire
I just want to hear I want to hear the politics.
Theater for the most part was full, and everybody there was loving it, cracking up, applauding, cheering. There was a lot of energy within the movie theater, which is fun. Now, let's talk about what I perceive to be negative about this film, and I do have quite a long list. First of all, you might think that a Barbie movie is something that you should take children to.
Is this a kids movie or is it not a kids movie?
It's this is such like a thing people say when they do press for a movie. They're like, it's for everyone. But it was literally crafted to be for everyone. Like this, Greta said from the beginning, like, this is a big party and everyone is invited.
I would not recommend that. It is certainly not a film that I would show to my future children, whether they are boys or girls. The overall messaging of this film is not a healthy message for young people, or really anybody. Plus, mixed in throughout the horrible messaging about patriarchy is a lot of sexual innuendo, a little bit of bad language as well. Now let's talk about the spooky patriarchy. It is a massive through line throughout this entire film. In fact,
if we just like think of this in tune with like all the other shit we've been seeing these right-wingers doing in the last week, though, remember, Terra, these right-wingers don't want kids seeing any kind of bad language and all that unless it's from straight male nonsense. They don't care about straight male nonsense. That's completely fine.
The word patriarchy is unironically mentioned in this movie more times than I could count. The entire plot of this film is contingent upon the belief that the real world is in fact a patriarchy, that men are constantly running and controlling things, even though they're not that bright and they don't really have good character. Guys, I kid you not, there are multiple speeches, I mean direct speeches in this film about how horrible it is to be a woman, all the different strifes that we go through, what it is to live under a patriarchy, how horrible and unintelligent and useless men are in the real world.
Your entire life is garbage.
It is unbelievable. And of course, they spin us the message that the world should in fact be a matriarchy, like Barbie Land, where women run everything, because you couldn't possibly have a centrist mindset that men and women complement each other, have different strengths and weaknesses, and in fact should coexist in a world where they both rule. I found myself many times during this film looking at the women and thinking, do they think women...
Well, they already said in that interview clip that that's what it works towards at the end, even though that's probably a spoiler, but we can guess that part.
Are dumb? Because that's truly how they presented them. The women in this film were ditzy, pathetic, lacked agency, or at least were trying to spin the idea that we lack agency. In fact, at one point in this film, America Ferrera says, quote, "It is impossible to be a woman," end quote. Think about that.
What was everyone's reaction to you saying that on set? And what was it like for you saying it?
Like, I think it really landed with the crew, too. Like, I had a lot of crew members, men and women, approach me, and they were, like, really felt it.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
There's also a quote at the end of the film where one of the Barbies says that in the future, Kens will have as much power in Barbie Land as women have in the real world. And this is supposed to be a ha-ha moment because women truly have no power in the real world and we're always stuck under the thumb of our oppressive patriarchal men.
That's a joke. No, I get it, yeah.
And of course, I must point out the irony.
I've never watched this girl's page before, but it's funny, you know, that she used that shot of The Office and the plain face to say that she didn't find the film funny, but she obviously has no humor, and the only way she can make humor in her talks is by putting in little clips of films.
Of this being a feminist film while casting trans actresses to play women. Now let's move on from the women to the men in this film who are...
Oh, they're all... Remember my theory about the transphobics? Yeah. Red flag, watch them once.
Largely playing Kens or the executives in the real world. There is not a single quality man in this entire movie. They are ditzy, they are feminine beyond belief, and they lack good character and strong morals all across the board. But that's exactly what the movie wants you to think about real men. You get the men in the real world who are sexually harassing Barbie. One of them even assaults her as she steps into the real world of Los Angeles, California. You get the executives who are constantly belittling women while also being really unintelligent themselves. If this movie wants to leave you with any message, it is the message that men suck.
He deserves it because she's Barbie and he's just Ken, and he's totally fine with that. Forever.
We should hate them and that we should live in a matriarchy. And they must mention the dynamic between men and women in this film. We all know that Barbie and Ken come together as a couple. For many of us, they were meant to be in love, this perfect pair of woman and man. In this movie, none of the Barbies are really in love with the Kens. In fact, the only point in this movie where Barbies actually show romantic affection towards their Kens is when they are brainwashed by the patriarchy. And just something that I thought was a funny note, this movie clearly hates capitalism, but also has within it very poorly done product placement for the 2024 Chevy Blazer.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
I mean, it sticks out like a sore thumb. I wonder how much money they made off of that within our capitalist system. But guys, I think you get the gist. I could go.
That is the dumbest take on earth, man. Obviously, this is a capitalist film made by a capitalist company. They have just made a message in it. Yeah, like obviously, like I get this all the time myself, talking about socialism, talking about the difficulties of capitalism and what it causes in the world. I still walk around in expensive stuff, still pay taxes, still do everything that a capitalist society wants us to do. How could they have even made the film without it? This woman is an idiot.
On and on about this film and all the different contradictions and all the different poor messaging. But I'll leave you with this. The film wants to let you know that it hates patriarchy, it hates men, it hates beauty standards, it hates capitalism, it hates Eurocentrism, and most of all, it hates Barbie and Mattel, the company responsible for the creation of Barbie, even though that's exactly what the film is meant to be about. As I said before, the audience in this theater really enjoyed the film. I was not with them on that one, and maybe it's because I'm sensitive to wokeness and super cynical, but to me, this movie just wasn't it. There could have been a much better storyline, a more appropriate storyline for especially.
I just see that you said it's been delayed from time to time, so I don't know how long that actually took to come through, because yeah, that might be mental.
The young women.
I'm gonna have to work out probably a faster way of seeing them, if so.
Women in particular who are going to want to see this film, and overall the messaging was a complete miss on what the actual world is like, at least through the lens that I'm looking at it. But I'm sure this film is going to make a lot of money. All the theaters that I looked at were completely sold out for many of the showtimes of this film. So many women in particular are talking about going to see it. Margot Robbie says this is going to be a $1 billion film, and I'm not sure that she's going to be wrong on that. If you went and watched the film, you let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to hear it. I think they've completely ruined what was the original message of Barbie, that women truly can do anything, and that we're not in a patriarchal system being held down under the thumb of the white heterosexual man. All right, guys. That's it for me. I'm gonna get out of this park because people are staring at me while I'm filming this, and it's making me anxious. Okay, please like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for you.
All right. So there we have her her nonsense video. I can't really respond to that much without going and watching the film, to be honest. I'm going to do something though quickly that I think will get the comments on my other screen a bit faster. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, because straight away I've seen a couple more comments. She even played the ironic Garth clip that essentially explains it at the same time. Yeah, so, yeah, like, I thought that as well. She's I don't know. She's completely lost, it seems to me.